Level 1, Basic Economy. The fare was $87 and you felt something close to victory right up until the seat map loaded. Every seat has a price now. The window is $34, the aisle is $29. The middle seat, the one nobody chooses, is the only one that's free. So you take the free one because the whole reason you booked this fare was that you didn't have the $34. The airline didn't sell you a seat. It sold you permission to be on the plane and then charged you one line at a time for everything a seat used to include. You get to the gate and they call the boarding groups. Group 1, Group 2, all the way down. And you already know where you live. Group 9. You stand off to the side and watch 8 groups of people walk past you onto the same plane you paid to be on. When your turn finally comes, the overhead bins are full. A gate agent takes your bag, tags it, and tells you it'll be at baggage claim. You didn't want to check it. You packed specifically so you wouldn't have to. The agent isn't unkind. She's just reading from a screen that decided this about you the moment you bought the cheapest thing they sold. You shuffle to the very back, past every row that paid more, and fold yourself into the middle seat. Level 2, Economy. $200 to your name. You paid for a real seat this time. An aisle, near the back, but yours, chosen on purpose. It cost you $29 extra, and you felt it, but at least you won't be climbing over 2 strangers at hour 3. You board with Group 6 now, instead of Group 9. It doesn't sound like much. It's the difference between overhead space and no overhead space, and on a full flight, that's the whole game. Your bag fits. You exhale. The gate agent scans your pass and the machine makes the normal sound, the flat double beep, and she says thank you without looking up, because at this tier, you are neither a problem nor a priority. You are throughput, a unit moving through a system designed to move as many units as cheaply as possible. The seat doesn't recline more than an inch. The person in front of you uses all of theirs. When the cart comes, water is free and everything else has a price, and you do the quiet math on whether $9 for a snack box is worth it, and you decide it isn't, the same way you decide it isn't every time. You're not ignored at level 2. You're processed. The airline doesn't see you as a customer here. It sees you as a seat that's already been paid for. Level 3. $2,000 saved and a credit card with the airline's name on it. Something shifted, and it wasn't you. It was the card in your wallet. You're a member now. There's a number next to your name and a little colored tier badge in the app, and the airline started counting your miles like they matter, because to them, finally, they do. You board with Group 4. You get 1 free checked bag. The first time the agent waives the bag fee without you asking, you check the screen twice to be sure. The same airline that made you gate check for free at level 1 now hands you a perk and calls it loyalty. You get an email offering you a seat near the front for $19 instead of $49, and sometimes you take it. The gate agent scans your pass, and this time the machine makes a different sound, a soft rising chime, and she glances up, just for a second, and says, "You're all set." It's not warmth, it's recognition. The middle ground where most travelers live their whole lives. You're not invisible anymore. You're not comfortable either. You're profitable. And at level 3, profitable is enough to be seen, but not enough to be served. Level 4. $15,000 in the bank and enough miles to stop pretending they don't matter. You fly premium economy now. Wider seat, more recline, a footrest, a meal that arrives on a real tray. You board with Group 2 before the cabin fills, and you watch the overhead bin situation be somebody else's problem for once. The gate agent scans your pass, the chime rises higher, and she says, "Welcome back," using a tone the airline trains into people who handle the front of the plane. A delay hits, the kind that would have stranded you at level 1, and this time a text arrives before you even reach the desk. Already rebooked. A new seat, a meal voucher, a lounge pass for the wait. The same airline that left you on hold for 90 minutes at level 1 now solves the problem before you know you have it. You realize the plane never changed. Group 9 is still boarding last, still gate-checking bags, still folding into the middle seat, 3 rows behind you, on the exact same aircraft. You've not fought at level 4. You're accommodated. The system stopped making you fight for the things it quietly gives the front of the plane for free. Level 5. Business class. $80,000 behind it. The airline starts reaching for you before you reach for it. A car is arranged to the terminal. A separate entrance, a separate security line, a separate desk with no rope and no line behind it. You meet Marcus. He's a dedicated travel agent, a title you didn't know an airline assigned to anyone. And he has a direct number that doesn't route through the menu that has ever existed. The lie-flat seat, the lounge with real food and real showers. The boarding that happens before boarding is even called. Marcus already knows you have a connection in Frankfurt and has already protected it. At level 5, a change fee appears, and Marcus makes it vanish before you finish the sentence. You're not just accommodated anymore. You're managed, gently, by someone paid to keep you. You're not a passenger at level 5. You're a relationship the airline has decided is worth defending. Level 6. First class. $500,000. The airport stops being a place you pass through and becomes a place that opens around you. There's no line because there's no line for you. A driver, a private lounge inside the private lounge, an agent who walks you to the gate instead of pointing at it. Marcus doesn't email anymore. Marcus calls. And when he calls, the upgrade is already cleared, the seat already assigned, the special meal already loaded by name. The flight attendant greets you at the door and knows what you drink. The crew is the same crew working the whole plane, but at this seat, the math is different. The same airline that charged a body $34 for a window seat now pours champagne before the doors close and never mentions a price. Because price is not the conversation here. Time is. Comfort is. The feeling of never once being told to wait. A passenger in Group 9 boards 40 minutes after you're already reclined, and you don't see them because the curtain is drawn, and the curtain has always been the entire point. You're not managed at level 6. You're protected. Level 7. Private charter. $5 million. You don't have a seat on a plane anymore. You have a plane that waits for you. You drive onto the tarmac. There's no terminal, no security theater, no boarding group, because boarding groups are a way to ration scarcity, and there is no scarcity here. The jet leaves when you arrive. A number in your phone reaches a human on the second ring, at night, on a weekend, because that access is the entire arrangement. Marcus still exists, but Marcus now coordinates a team, and the team exists partly because your account does. The deals aren't on a menu. A route that doesn't exist commercially is flown because you asked. The rules every other traveler lives under, the cutoffs, the change windows, the weight limits, aren't refused for you. They're quietly suspended. You sit in a cabin with no logo on the headrest and a crew that isn't trying to move you anywhere on a schedule because there's no one behind you and no one waiting for the gate. The line everyone else stands in, the one you stood in at level 1, you don't know it's still there. You stopped being able to see it. The airline doesn't follow its rules at level 7. It bends them around your name. Level 8. You own the jet. $25 million. Your name isn't on a boarding pass anymore. It's on the registration. The people who run the airline don't sell you tickets. They call to ask what you think of the new cabin they're designing. The chief of the loyalty program takes your call. 3 people inside the company have jobs that exist in part because of the contracts your name signs. And they don't know that, and neither do you. But the math is real. You don't book flights. The flight is whatever you need it to be, wherever you need it, the moment you decide. And the airline that once tagged your carry-on and sent it to baggage claim now flies a team out to ask what it should build next, Because the people at the very top of the system get to shape the system. And somewhere in that same system, right now, tonight, someone is standing off to the side of a gate with a boarding pass that says Group 9.